What's good, Ninja? OJ over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another video. Today, we've got some great topics like always, but before we get into that, let's see if we can hit 500 likes for this video, so hit that like button and help the channel out. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into this. And we are starting off with Capcom and their plans when it comes to Nintendo Switch, which they do intend to bring more games to the platform in the future, and there's also been a rumor floating around, or I guess it's not necessarily a rumor, but kind of like it's not verified by Capcom's official papers, so we're kind of classifying it as that. But apparently Capcom is planning to bring more Monster Hunter to the Nintendo Switch. Now this is outside of Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter Double Cross. We already know that Monster Hunter Double Cross is coming to the Nintendo Switch here in the Americas. It's coming this August, and then Monster Hunter Double Cross already came out in Japan last year. But they're saying that outside of that and outside of Monster Hunter World, because Monster Hunter World isn't coming, they do plan to bring another Monster Hunter game to the Nintendo Switch, and I'm personally thinking that that will be a brand new Monster Hunter game, or it will be a port or a sequel to Monster Hunter Stories. So let's get into what Capcom had to say first on supporting the Switch, then I'll talk about some of my theories when it comes to what they're doing next with Monster Hunter on the Nintendo Switch. So during the latest shareholders meeting, Capcom was asked about its impressions regarding Switch. The company responded by pointing out that Monster Hunter Double Cross is available and that it intends to continue developing other titles for the platform in the future. Now, it's interesting what people think about Capcom when it comes to them putting games on the Switch. In Capcom's eyes, when they put out stuff like, let's say, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2, despite it being ports of older games, they still consider that support for the platform because they'll put in exclusive features for the Nintendo Switch. You have IR aiming, you also have Joy-Con controls in terms of motion, you have exclusive mini games that are in each of those versions, so they consider that support, just to let you guys know. Now, what Capcom's not going to do, or I wouldn't expect from them, is brand new huge games like Devil May Cry 5 built from the ground up for the Nintendo Switch. I wouldn't expect that. That's not what they're going to be saying here. Now, we do have stuff like Mega Man 11 that's going to be new, and also Ace Attorney, which they're planning on revealing that at some point this year. I guess they would talk about it at Tokyo Game Show. Stuff like that's going to be on the Nintendo Switch, but don't expect something ground up like Devil May Cry 5 or something like that to come to Nintendo Switch outside of it being a port from other systems. Maybe you might expect that, but don't expect anything exclusive and ground up. If people are expecting that's what they want from Capcom, you're not going to get that, so just letting you guys know. Now, getting back to what they're going to be doing with Monster Hunter on the Nintendo Switch, if this rumor does pan out to be true, which I do think it is, I feel that they could do a port or a remake of Monster Hunter Stories on the Nintendo Switch in addition to a sequel. That game is really good, and I actually like it more than vanilla Monster Hunter. I know that's crazy, right? But if you've played Monster Hunter Stories on the Nintendo 3DS, it is a fantastic turn-based RPG with a lot of potential if they had a bigger platform to put it on in terms of features and functionality. There's a lot of stuff they can do. It has a fantastic art style. It looks great on the sub 360p screen of the Nintendo Switch. I'm just imagining that completely made for the Nintendo Switch when it comes to like a Monster Hunter Stories 2, and I think that could be absolutely phenomenal, and a game that gets more people into the style of turn-based combat RPGs. So if you haven't checked out Monster Hunter Stories on the 3DS and you have one, check it out. There is a free demo. It's a very good game. So I'm thinking they can do something along those lines, or they can just make a ground up Monster Hunter game for the platform, because I talked about this before when it comes to Monster Hunter World versus what they're doing on the Nintendo Switch. I just don't know if they're going to take the time or seek someone out to do the work to port Monster Hunter World when they can probably just make a new game for the system, because the system is new. Monster Hunter World started development back in 2013, so they can probably just make a new Monster Hunter game in like a year and a half to 2 years on the Nintendo Switch with the MT framework, instead of getting somebody to painstakingly port over Monster Hunter World and all of the stuff that it does in terms of using the graphical effects and everything from PS4 and Xbox One. So those are my thoughts on the matter. What do you guys think about what Capcom had to say here, and what would you expect from them when it comes to Monster Hunter on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next topic here, it does seem does seem like there could be some exclusive content for Dragon Quest XI on the Nintendo Switch that would be hard for them to put on the PlayStation 4. But Square Enix has officially said that they can't say anything about the additional content in Dragon Quest XI for the Nintendo Switch. So during Square Enix's Holdings 38th General Meeting of Stockholders last week, the company answered various questions regarding Dragon Quest XI for the Nintendo Switch. They also talked about Final Fantasy VII Remake, which we already discussed in a previous video, so make sure you check that out if you haven't already done so. And potential for Dragon Quest remakes as well, which we've already talked about beforehand, but you'll have links if you guys want to see the information in the description below. So here is the first question when it comes to additional content on Dragon Quest XI for the Nintendo Switch. Question: regarding the additional elements in the Switch ports of Dragon Quest Builders and Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, are there plans to add those to the PlayStation 4 versions as downloadable content? Also, will the Nintendo Switch versions of Dragon Quest XI have additional elements? Here is what Square Enix had to say on the matter. Quote, "It's the first time we were porting both Dragon Quest Builders and Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 just as they are. Up until now, the content of our ports has changed a fair amount. PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch have quite a different consumer base, and a bit of time has passed. So we have to make up the difference one way or another. Giving this back to the PlayStation 4 version would be difficult. I can't say anything about Dragon Quest XI," then there's laughing in there. "There are promotional plans in the works from here on out, so we'll be releasing more information when the time comes." So it does seem, based on what they've done before, because there has been additional content, they were asking the question at first saying, hey, are you guys going to put those additional contents that you guys put in the Switch versions in terms of Dragon Quest Builders and Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 in the PS4 versions? And they're like, no, we're not going to do that because that's going to take too much time. We're not going to have to put together a team, then port it over there. There's no point in doing that. Like, there's no reason to do that. And it looks like when they said we have to make up the difference, so they have to make up the time that has passed, because obviously Switch owners are going to be like, okay, well, what do we get? Do we get anything extra from us having to wait this long? Which Square Enix has been providing that with the ports that they've been bringing over to Nintendo Switch. And it does seem like they're kind of hinting, yeah, there's going to be something, but we can't talk about it at any point. Now, based on what they've done with Dragon Quest Builders and Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2, I highly doubt it's going to be anything really big or significant. Might just be an additional feature here or there, like the Saber Cat or something like that. So they just might add a couple things here and there, but I don't think it'll be anything major. But it is interesting to see them kind of allude to additional content being in the Nintendo Switch versions of the game, because they do have to make that up at some point. But honestly, to me, just being able to play that type of RPG anywhere that I want is more than enough for me. I know that's just the default with the Nintendo Switch, but optimizing for it, getting it ready, and putting it out on there, that's not as easy as some people think, based on what's kind of been going around when it comes to development of Switch and optimizing for portable play in addition to home console play as well. So I'm excited to see what they have for us. Sucks that we're not getting it in 2018, but when they're ready to launch it and it's a good version of the game, I'll be right there to pick it up, and I will be buying the PS4 version of the game as well. So I'll be double dipping anyway. So what do you guys think about potentially having some extra content in Dragon Quest XI for the Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the last topic here, Cat Quest for the Nintendo Switch Physical Edition will officially launch on September 11th in North America and September 7th in Europe. Now, the Gentle Bros developed action RPG first launched digitally for PC, Mac, and iOS in August 2017, followed by an Android release in September and a PS4 and Nintendo Switch release in November. While the PlayStation 4 Physical Edition was released, a Switch Physical Edition was not, so that's why we're getting this announcement here. Now, here's a little bit of an overview of the game, and I'll just talk about it briefly because this game is amazing. So, focusing on real-time hack and slash combat, sweet loot, and cat puns. Lots and lots of cat puns, and yes, guys, I can verify there are lots and lots of cat puns. Cat Quest is an isometric open-world 2D action RPG that will take players on a colorful and playful adventure. Set in the world of Feline Guard, Cat Quest sends you on an epic journey to defeat Dracoth, an evil cat lord who destroyed your boat and catnapped your sister. He is a powerful as well as mysterious, however, and in order to rescue your paw sister, you must realize your destiny as the last of the Dragon Blood, a long lost race of dragon slaying cats. So guys, there's so many different puns here. I had trouble even reading through them without laughing, because Cat Quest is a very interesting and I would say unique spin on just basically like a pun style of game. Obviously, they are spoofing roofing, Skyrim, and many other different types of things here, but it's really cool. It's a really fun game, nice hack and slash. You can go around collecting, like they say, slashing it up, going into different dungeons, learning magic. It's a fun game. It's a fun game, and it's actually built on Unity as well, so that's the reason why it's just on so many different consoles here, and they're pretty much all the same performance. So whether you get the game on PS4, you get the game on Mac, you get the game on PC, or whatever the case is, they all kind of play the same, but it's a ton of fun to play on the Nintendo Switch because it's the only version to where you can play dedicated home console in addition to portable one system. Obviously that hybrid nature of it comes in handy with this style of game, just because there's so many times where I was just kind of grinding through with Cat Quest and playing. It's a fantastic game. So if you haven't picked it up yet, I guess now would be the time this September to pick up the physical edition of the game if you do like your games physical, or you can buy it on the eShop as well. They've also announced that Cat Quest 2 is in development, so if you want to get ready for that game, I'm guessing that's going to be a 2019 launch for Cat Quest 2, or maybe even late 2018 launch for it. I'm not exactly sure when they're going to launch the game, but there was no information given, so I'm thinking it's going to be more of 2019. So what do you guys think about all the different topics here, from Cat Quest physical edition to Square Enix and what they had to say on Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age on Switch, and Capcom about potentially bringing over Monster Hunter and other things on the system? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube Live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you Ninja for the next video. Peace.